everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39, coming to you from the Not Too Shabby channel. And I would like to show you a project I made with the Meet Me in Wonderland 6x6 paper pad, which comes from the Not Too Shabby box of the month. I also used some of their ephemera and one of the stamp sets that came with the collection. All fabulous stuff. I mean, if you love the Wonderland theme, you're going to like this. So as you can see, I've made some Z-fold cards. They're mini slimline Z-fold cards to be exact. And I'm going to take you through and show you how to make them. Let me show you the cards first of all. So this one is pretty simple. Let me move these out of the way. I used some red cardstock from my stash and cut it down and then just adhered the pattern paper onto the cardstock. I show you how I cut it. So we've got some of the cards from the ephemera, and this paper is gorgeous, on the front. This on the back has the red carnations, red roses. This on the back has the red flowers. And then inside we've got the stopwatch. And also there was sort of like a border strip, and I just glued that down at the bottom and added the sentiment in there. I just thought it was a little fun way of doing it. And if you were giving this card for a birthday, you could also tuck in a gift card if you wanted to. This little border strip was a little longer than the 3 1/4 inches of the card, so I simply cut it and then used the bottom piece and made it into a longer pocket. So I mean, basically it looks like that when it's open, but when it's closed it's fabulous. And then the back is like that. So this could go on your mantelpiece or on your desk, and it's a fun fold card. So this one does not have a second layer. The other two cards do. What I mean is, this is the pattern paper and there is a white border of just plain cardstock below that. I just wanted to sort of pull it out a little bit and help it come out against the dark, well, it's not dark, against the brown background. So here we have the clock raised up. It's a little dimensional. I know it's hard to see how dimensional it is, and so is the set of cards. And I also took the I'm not crazy, my reality is just different, and I did stamp it, and I also took my marker and drew out the crazy and the difference just to highlight that a little bit. And then I also had some dimensional hearts from my stash that I put right on there. I just thought it would really pop it up a lot. So that's number 2. Number 3, this paper's fabulous, I just gotta say. So we've got the Drink Me here on the front, we've got the hat in the middle, and in the back it says Eat Me, and that's sort of popped up a little so you still see it here. So we have the Eat Me and Drink Me, and then here's the stopwatch. Here's the sentiment that I did back on another piece of cardstock, and I did also emboss this using blue ink and some clear embossing powder, and then put the key here just to, because it says those who don't believe in magic will never find it with the keyhole, and so I thought the key there would be appropriate. So there is that. So it opens like this. I mean, isn't this paper fabulous too? Just and I also made envelopes to go with these cards. Please feel free to go to Project 39 mini albums, and I will have a tutorial on how to make the envelopes. And now, without further ado, let's get started on making some cards. All right, so I have cut a piece of cardstock 6.5 by 9 3/4. I'm first going to take it and put it in the scoreboard and score at 3 1/4 and 6.5. So we have 3 sections that are all the same size. Now I'm going to take my ruler and measure up from the left hand side 2 inches. So that will put it right there. Then what I want to do is cut from here to here. Cut straight across there. I'm going to use my larger paper trimmer just because it will cut it easier than my tiny one. So we'll cut it right there. Okay. And there we go. So I am going to cut some coordinating cardstock into 3 inches wide by 6 1/4. I'm cutting 2 of those. So those will fit on that page. Now we will need 3-inch pieces of cardstock. So I have this one piece of cardstock. It's 3 inches wide. I think it's 8 1/2 tall. And I'm centering it on this panel with a 1/8 of an inch around each side. But on the bottom, instead of having an 1/8 of an inch, I'm going to move it up to 1/4 of an inch. So it's still even here. The edge of this is parallel to our score line. If you want, you can tape it down. I'm not going to tape it down. I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm going to put that right on the edge of my brown cardstock or craft color and draw a line so it's exactly on the edge of the cardstock. And then I'm going to take this, I actually put 2 pieces together, and I'm going to put it in my trimmer. And I know it's hard for you to see, but I have the line and I'm going to cut on the line. So I have 2 pieces. That will be 1/4 of an inch smaller on all sides. So this one will go on the back. Now, will this work for this? Yes, it will. I love when that works. So we have our 3 panels for the front and for the back. On this card, I did ink around the edges of the cardstock just because I liked that distress look. So if you would like to do that, you can. But on this one, because there are white accents on the paper, I'm going to keep it white, and I'm not going to ink it at all. See other cards, it's white. I mean, it's got some shadows on it, but it's still pretty white. So I am not going to ink these up, and I'm going to go ahead and attach them. All right, and I'm going to go to a voiceover to speed things up. So I'm gluing the panels down on the card and making sure they're all down and trying to figure out which one I want on which panel. And I decided to go with that blue and then the beige with the red accents and then the one with the larger images. And then I use my ruler to determine exactly how to cut it for each of the pieces. Well, I can't say for each. So I do the front one and then I back them up and cut them together. And then I'll go ahead and adhere them on. So both the front and the back. And the short one will get the same piece on both sides, the same paper. So now I'll determine what I want to do as far as adding the different ephemera. I decided to pop up this watch and the cards. I just thought it would stand out a little bit more. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to put something in the corner, but I'll go ahead and stamp the sentiments. And the sentiments that come with this set are just fabulous. All right, so this red card is going to be a little different because I don't have a layer of cardstock between the base and the pattern paper. So we can cut the pattern paper to 3 inches. So obviously you'll get 2 out of each piece. But then I did the same thing as far as determining how to make that angle cut on there. To me, it's the easiest method of doing it. It may not be exactly perfect, but it's fast and it's easy. And I do ink the edges here just to show some definition since we only have the 1 layer of cardstock. And you've already seen at the beginning of this video exactly which pieces of ephemera I used to decorate. And here is an overview of the 3 cards I made using the not too shabby Meet Me in Wonderland, the 6x6 paper pad along with the die cut ephemera that matches the collection. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out Project 39 mini albums, and I will be showing how to make the slimline envelope that goes with these cards. Thanks again for watching. Have a fabulous day.